Welcome, everyone, to a new edition of Inside Buccaneer Football, the Coach Phil Junkin Show, brought to you by Jenkins Construction and Asphalt. We said last week, toward the end of our show, Chris and Coach Phil, that hopefully we'd be sitting on the set this week in a victorious manner, and hallelujah if we didn't do it. What do you have to say? I know we got to look forward to the next game, but let's talk a little bit about the landmark victory over Centerville.
Yeah, that was a big win for us, Jeff. Obviously, Centerville's a great program.
Yeah.
Have been for years. Coach Hurst is a legendary coach. Everybody knows that. And our kids answered the bell. Did we play perfect? No. Did we play well? Yes. And our offensive line opened some gaping holes, and Josiah finished it up. He had 148 yards rushing, and of course, Kyron topped that with 109 yards rushing. And when you rush for 300 yards, you're going to win football.
Oh, indeed.
And, we threw it 5 times. So, first time back, I doubled Gary Hendry's exposure because he threw it none.
Right.
The first time he coached it right here. But, I thought defensively, the kids played hard. Coach Dean's going to pull his hair out, what little he's got up there, on trying to get everybody to get lined up right, because I know he teaches them the right way to do it all week. And then, of course, we have some mental lapses on Friday. But beyond those things, huge win for our program, huge win for the school, just for the morale around school and the excitement that it created. And we had a great crowd, and we appreciate everybody that came out.
Yeah, real big crowd.
Yeah.
One big thing I took away, we looked more Centerville than they looked Centerville. We ran the ball and pounded it and played defense and physical. I thought we were much more physical than Centerville, and that's usually their thing.
Yeah, and look, those 2 big tackles, I think the last one, I think his name's Perez.
Big boy.
And then Arnold. What a great young man.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk to him after the ball game. Kay's such a great kid, and they did a tremendous job.
Yes, they did.
They're very physical. We lost one of our players due to a physical play from offensive lineman. We won't have Maddox this week due to injury, and it's because of the treatment by an offensive lineman from Centerville. Yet our guys up front said, "Hey, we can match you, and we're going to get after you," and they did that. And I think ultimately that was a huge thing. And honestly, one of the big differences in the ball game is, we have last year in the Centerville game we had 5 personal foul penalties. This year we had 1. We had a tackle out of bounds. It was a bad play, yes, but nothing like Centerville had when the kid throws the helmet.
That was foolish.
And look, that's a huge play in the game.
Yep.
Because here you got an opportunity to go ahead in the ball game, and momentum we know plays such a huge part in what we do. And I thought that was a huge thing. And then, of course, Maverick comes up with just a monster play on the extra point to sack the quarterback and momentum, and then here you go.
Yep, that changes the game.
Joe goes to the house the very next play. So it was one of those things where everything fell into place. It went right for the Buccaneers on Friday night, and now we jump out of the frying pan into the fire with Tri-County. So.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Josiah Miller, we mentioned him already several times, rushed for 148 yards on 14 carries. That's 10.5 yards per carry. But I want to reflect a little bit on the play of our offensive line. If you know how to watch football, our 2 guards, namely J.P. Brumfield and Brody Estave, they are bad to the bone, always outweighed, but they come out of that, they can absolutely pull and pick a man off. Quick.
Brody may be the quickest guard I've ever coached. And I obviously don't want to blow his head up too bad.
Right.
But he got an older brother who played here, was a tough cat as well, but he's so incredibly quick, and and he uses that God-given ability, and he really put it to use the other night. JP's just dogging.
Yeah.
He gets after it. I can't say enough about those 2 guys, and to have McCauley and Jacob in those tackles to give you that punch.
Yep.
And then can't say enough about Eli Schillings. I mean, his snapping was great. We had a couple of, center quarterbacks exchanges, and we tell our quarterbacks all the time, guys, if that happens, it's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, we take it and we learn from it. And the nice part about it is we very easily could have folded in a couple of times in the game.
A couple of key points in the game.
Key points. Okay, we have a bad drive. We don't do things the right way. You could easily fold, knowing what you've been through. But they didn't. They said, nope, not going to happen on our watch.
Right.
And they took the challenge and did a great job.
Right. Well, the defense kept stepping up despite the turnovers in the first half. We go to the locker room with a 7-6 lead.
How about Ben Galloway on that last one at the end of the first half?
Right.
The pick. And look, he wanted that belt. He said before the game, I'm getting the belt, Jeff. And he did it.
And he did it the way that I dreamed whenever I ordered the belt. Came to the sideline, held it up.
Right.
I almost teared up whenever I saw that. Yeah, but Eli Schilling, the tackles, of course, Macaulay Keaton and Jacob Mathern. Eli Schilling, I told him after the game, 180 pounds, 180. I've never seen him, he's a 3-year starter, get whipped in a game. He's a technician. He just knows how to place his body in the right
he's worked
situation to where he's effective.
Yeah, he's worked very hard. He's really worked hard at it. And of course, they all went down to the Nichols camp this summer. But the majority of our linemen went down there this summer. And it was a huge play.
A lot of footwork. What did they go over?
I'm going to tell you, it's the best lineman camp in the country. There's no question about it. There's probably 500, 600 kids there from all over. NFL staff members, college staff members down there, Chris. It's a phenomenal camp. And they work steps, fundamental foot quickness. But we all three of us here know, if you're going to play an offensive line, it's about desire. You don't ever get any accolades. You don't score any touchdowns. Nobody talks about how pretty you are in your uniform. But if it's not for those guys up front, we don't move anywhere. And they did play well this past week, and we need them to play even better this week. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, I've always said it's like pitching in baseball. Offensive line in football, when it comes down to it, that's really all that matters. Yeah. If you have 5 all-state offensive linemen, all of a sudden the third team tailback is out of sight.
He looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
One other thing that I noticed in the game that I thought we clearly won was special teams. You mentioned the PATs. We converted several of those, and I thought our coverage teams looked good.
And the one time, the one time we did get blocked on the extra point, we actually were lined up a little too close to the ball. And what we come to find out after the fact is Maddox has taken a lick to the head. He doesn't know where he is. And so he lines up 3 yards from the center instead of 7 yards from the center.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Will Arnold just stands up and throws his hand up and has the end of that. Yeah, so again, there are little things like it. But I thought Alex did a great job. Here's a 9th grade kid. First time he's ever stepped out there, and he goes and punches them through. And he missed one. He kind of got a little sideways on one, but he took care of his business when we needed him to. And that's a huge plus for us. From last year, since we couldn't even make one. So
yeah,
I don't know when the last time Bowling Green has made 2 PATs in a game. It's been a long time.
Well,
he works hard too. He's hard working.
That's right. Chris campaigned for him to be the Bill Arata Cedar Sword player of the game, and of course Josiah Miller with 7 tackles, 148 yards rushing. So we had dual Cedar Sword winners. Let's just mention right quick about. Alex Brock, he put us ahead 7-6. Okay, and in high school football, if you're up 7-6, you're up by a touchdown because Centerville obviously can't kick a field goal.
Right.
Then another PAT that he's successful on puts us up by 8, meaning you got to score and be successful on a 2-point conversion to tie us. So that was a big advantage. Alex Brock. Alex Bullseye Brock. I've given him a nickname. We're going to go to a commercial break right now. Thankful for Jenkins Construction and Asphalt, who's helping us bring this program to you. We'll be right back after this break.
So it started off 4 o'clock in the morning where I'd start with my cardio, then I'd have breakfast, and then I would go to the gym, and then I'd go to work.
Some of y'all have no idea what 4 a.m. looks like
Why would you not wake up at 4:30?
because you're too busy sleeping in.
I'm pretty sure I wake up earlier than all of you.
We don't sleep when we're tired, we sleep when we are.
Too busy hitting the snooze button multiple times.
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up.
Welcome back to the Coach Phil Junkins Show, Inside Buccaneer Football, brought to you by Jenkins Construction and Asphalt. We're joined now on the set by our defensive coordinator, Dean King. Dean, local guy, played here at Bowling Green. Played here at Bowling Green when Coach Phil Junkins was an assistant coach under Coach Gary Hendry, and I do remember this. Coach Phil Junkins loved Dean King, a big enforcer, even as a ninth grader. And through the years, before you come back here and take this head defensive coordinator job, you've had a lot of experience. Tell us a little bit about some of the journey, Dean.
Well, you hit on point. When you play for guys like Coach Phil Junkins and Coach Gary Hendry, if you take into things they say, you're going to learn a lot. And the one thing that they have taught me was the most important things are little things.
Yeah.
That go further than just X's and O's, and teaching life lessons, teaching young men, teaching teenagers to be young men,
right?
And how to be tough.
How to work.
Mainly how to work, those type of things, and that I took in really, more than a lot of people, or what you would say.
Right.
But I took that in a way, and I just took it on as well. Now when I coach you, the same thing. That's what they did to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to just coach for just to be a coach. I want kids that don't care for them.
That's
I want
right.
to see them be successful when they leave, from just football.
Yeah.
So.
Big opponent this week, Tri-County, the state champs last year, the Rebels. They've got some weapons up front. I'm sure you've been doing your homework. Obviously it starts with Cam Shepard, number 11. You've got to stop him. You'll see him in the slot. I think sometimes you'll see him in the backfield. What's your plans for Tri-County? I know you can't give it all away.
That's right. The biggest thing I see with him is 11's good. And he's a player, and obviously we're going to have something for them. One thing I feel like teams have done in the past, they just play off too much.
Right.
And we're going to try to fix that. And we're going to try to get in their face and take away the quick game, because that's one thing I know they want to do is start a quick game. They love to run the football.
Right.
And bottom line is we got to do what we know is best for us, and we got to stop the run. That's one thing that I said I wanted to do from day one. I talked to Coach Phil. I said, Coach, hey, you're going to beat us. You're going to beat us passing football.
Yep.
We want to stop the run. And
True at any level of football.
Right.
Pee wee to high school to college to pro. Stop the run.
There's nothing no worse than getting beat when somebody just run it down your
Right.
so,
Yep.
But he's a player, and we definitely gonna have to find definitely to stop him. And I feel like we have the tools. I feel like our scheme we can do so. We just gotta go out there and do it.
Yeah. Well, what amazes me this year, as I've been blessed to be present at some of the film sessions, you mentioned the little things. That's coach talk. You don't have
Cliche.
But you'll point out on film to where a young man lines up, shaded to the wrong side, and then point out where another young man is lined up correctly, and it makes a world of difference, sometimes 12 inches. And for Coach Phil and yourself to be so studied on the upcoming opponent and put the young men in place, it's remarkable, very impressive to me, Dean.
Well, the thing about defense is, as And me, I'm a little different. You know, I'm younger, and you know, you see a lot of people want to run nickel and they want to get real crazy with stunts and things, and those things are great. You know, but also I like to put the old school in. I believe defensively comes from alignment and being in position. I don't think we can be a very good defensive team if we're not lined up correctly or if we're not in position. But I think we'd be a very good defensive team if we're lined up correctly and we're always in position.
Right.
So I think when it comes to those little details and we watch film, I think that is vital and very important that we do so, because I think that just makes us a better defensive football team.
Oh, no doubt.
When we do that.
Of course.
You know, and of course you just got to be defensive play when you tackle. You know?
Yeah.
Alignment, position, to me, will always be the number one key in a successful defense.
Yeah. Well, I think any fans at home, or especially parents of the players, can feel good about the way you prepare their young men. You ask them to show discipline and give everything that they have, and you also lead by example, Dean. They didn't know you through high school. You were a great example of a young man back then, but even now, as you said, you try to teach life lessons and whatever. You can teach all you want to. What they want to see is, I'm watching him. I'm going to see if he's doing what he's telling us to do. And I think they do with you, Dean.
I can tell you what, I can't be more proud of these guys, the way they come with practice, the way they bring energy, and the way they're playing right now. I mean, one thing we really detail on as far as when kids, you know, we want you to play with effort. And you know what? If you're going to mess up with effort. Mess up full speed. And I think these kids, they give everything they have.
Yeah.
You know, and even if they do mess up, it's full speed because of the fact, I think the kids just love playing for us.
Yeah.
I think they love the energy, and I think that makes a world of difference. You know, at the end of the day, you can be a great coach, but you know what? If you don't show the kids love, you don't show the kids that you actually care for them, I don't think the kid's going to give back. And
Absolutely.
You know, and that's one thing I want to be. I don't want to just be a coach who comes in here and gets on to it. I want to be a coach who says, hey, I love you as well, and I want you to know I'm here for you on the football field and off the field.
Talk to us a little bit about, I didn't mean to interrupt you, talk to us a little bit about Centerville Academy and how much that victory meant to you. You've been around this league and Bowling Green for a long time. Perhaps what was your record in high school versus Centerville? I'm sure, you know, Centerville was a powerhouse.
Well,
that victory had to be special.
Look, it was a big victory, and it was something, you know, that I knew and us coaches knew. It was a game where, you know, to us, each game is a win. Every game we want to win.
Right.
Must
But
win,
some, you know, Centerville's got some history.
But, you know, anytime you can beat Centerville,
Right.
that's just a big win. And, you know, because year in, year out, Centerville is going to win football games.
Right, they're
in the playoffs. I mean, there is no down here to Centerville or up. I mean, they're good.
They're always going to play hard. They may not be state champs. Right. They may not have the talent every year,
right.
but they're always going to come out and they're going to play you a football game. And they're going to play a full schedule, and they're going to play a full 66.
And, you know, they're always physical. They're always got size. They run the football very well. And for us, defensively, I was just proud of the guys because one thing we wanted to do was hey, make them pass the football. They're going to beat us passing the football, get them out of their game. Now,
our quarterback was pretty good.
Quarterback was good.
Yeah, young man too.
And he was, you know, and they were young receiver-wise and had some plays. Man, that quarterback, I thought sometimes put the ball perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in situations where I thought we had him, you know, but for us, the thing I loved the most, it was not the best performance defensively, but I thought it was a great performance because I felt like we stepped up when it mattered the most.
Right.
You know, whenever we, you know, a couple times we had some turnovers,
some emotion
the
going on.
defense stepped up and we stopped.
Yep.
You know, and I told them guys coming at halftime, I said, guys, we're up, you know, 7-6. Hey, hang your hat on that one, you know. And I thought Morgan Verrett come up big with interception there. I thought the sack right there when Maverick was big on that two-point conversion play. I thought also Ben Galloway getting another interception was big, you know. And heck, him and Morgan both had one for 40+ on takeaways. And then, you know, and I thought Kyron right there, we had a stunt, we put him in, and he had a big sack right there to force a turnover as well. You know, and that's the thing. You know what, we may not stop everything, but if we can cause some turnovers, that's always a plus for us. Because I believe offensively, we're going to be able to move the football and control the clock, and the defense can come up with some turnovers, that's a plus for us.
Yeah. Well, Kyron was Chris Bird's pick to click And Chris, I think you rolled a 7. 108 yards rushing and then 7 tackles on the night, plus that big sack. If we could sign up for him to duplicate that every week, I'd go ahead and sign.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, even though I think that we've still left some cards on the table. I think that Kyron's got games where he's going to improve on those great numbers, and I know our defense and offense can improve even on what we did this past Friday night. And I hope this Friday night when we start that improvement. I've got to bring up one question, Dean, that's been going around the school forever. When you were in high school, pretty tough customer, strong kid, football, basketball. Some announcer guy, voice of the Bucks radio, beat you in a curl contest.
I heard he beat him and Hunter Thomas.
Do you remember that?
I'll be honest with you.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember. I don't think I do. There's so much going on here, you know, it's on a great
I think he's pulling our chain. I think he remembers quite well.
But you know what? If it's probably true. It's probably true. If they did, you know what? Good job to them.
Yeah.
Good job to that person. Hey,
I bet you he could not do it today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get in this weight room as much as I used to, so I don't know.
Well, no, Chris Bird beating Dean King in the curl contest.
And Hunter Thomas.
And Hunter Thomas.
Back-to-back years.
You know, that's something that
You
had
know what?
to be addressed.
I remember that now.
Now you remember it? Okay.
I remember that now. You know what? There you go.
Yep.
I just need to hear Chris Bird. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it had to be addressed.
It
You know,
It did.
Dean, thanks for joining us. We want to thank our executive producer, Raymond Williams, Buck Vision, Bowling Green School, of course, Coach Phil Junkins, all the coaches on the staff, Coach Hampton Creel, the O-line coach. We especially want to thank Jenkins Construction and Asphalt as our sponsor this week, Bill Arata of Arata Law Firm, for sponsoring our Cedar Sword Player of the Week. Dean, thanks a lot. Chris, any closing remarks?
For joining us this week. You expect your Rolex Presidential Watch. It'll be coming next week in the mail, so look for that. And good luck this week versus Tri-County, making the road trip up to Florida. I think you probably are going to represent the school well in what we do. So we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show this week.
Thank you.
And hopefully whenever we air again following the Tri-County game, it'll be another victorious Buck Vision, Coach Phil Junkins set. Thank you for joining us. Thanks again to Jenkins Construction and Asphalt. Until next time, this is Mr. Positive, Jeff McKelvin, along with Chris Bird, saying, Go Bucks.
See you in Florida.